After I sent a request to play Test Half Sword, I was graciously granted the boon of testing out this great game. Upon opening the game, I can already see so much difference from the version they've released on itch.io. The UI is way better, and there is finally a medieval theme to the main menu. But before this video continues, please do consider subscribing. It will definitely brighten my day if you did. Looking at the main menu, I feel that Half Sword gives so much content in this playtest, so they must be cooking something real good for us content-wise during its actual full release. So I am excited to see the game upon its full release. Now, there are different tiers in this playtest, different tiers of gear and equipment. At the bottom, you can see a beggar-like icon that, if pressed, strips you of any equipment. Upon playing the demo, I noticed something different from the previous release. The unarmed combat is different, allowing a much grandiose physics in terms of fistfighting. However, as you can see, they still need to overhaul it in some way, because you and the AI opponent basically hammer your fist each other like some Dragon Ball character. The unarmed combat in Half Sword looks way better than before, but still it is designed in a way that ultimately rewards the person who can swing their mouse around faster.
Turn away from this path.
Anyway, moving up the tiers, we have something that looks like a peasant tier. You are equipped with farming equipment, and I noticed how better the combat feels compared to the open beta with the dark atmosphere I often post on my YouTube shorts. It has a much more detailed transition between swings, and landing your weapon is almost a guaranteed win, as the enemy is most likely too injured to continue the duel. But just like the previous version and build of this game, a pitchfork is still the bane of my existence. Now we move on to the next tier, where you seem to be equipped with much better equipment and much better weapons like a long sword, but still wearing any protective armor to combat cuts. Trying that tier again, I immediately die. Determined to prove myself, I try again. But clearly, I'm not the swordsman I believe myself to be. But still, I try again. This time being more aggressive than defensive. And finally, it works. Kill after kill, I'm getting the hang of the longsword. But then, the reality of me being new to the game caught up with me, and I finally fell. But on a brighter note, we can finally move to the next tier, where it seems you're finally wearing actual armor. I tap the icon over and over again looking for a longsword, but to my dismay it seems the only weapons available are of stereotypical militiamen. So I settled with this spiky mess.
Gotch hooks.
Not enjoying much of this tier, I move on to the next one, where it seems a gambeson is standard equipment and better weapons are available. And upon seeing a longsword, I sped to the play button to start swinging. Finally, with decent armor and a long sword, I finally started enjoying what Half Sword had to offer.
Oh, no! Might we not?
Upon dying on this tier, I immediately moved on to the next, as I am excited to see more equipment and eager to use them. Anyway, on the next tier, you already know I'd be using a longsword, there is no debate. But as you can see, it turns out my enemies are basically ironclad with armor. It seems a longsword was a poor weapon choice, but I must commit to wielding a bastard sword as it is my weapon of choice. While fighting this shield-wielding craven, I noticed something with half swording. I remember that grappling and takedown maneuvers are a standard to dueling, and half swording is the key to grappling enemies for takedowns. And so I tried performing it, and as you can see, I was right. I can lock my arms around his neck and have my weapon danger close to the soft parts of his neck.
What gain is there in bloodshed?
Eager for more duels, I played more aggressively, and I started utilizing grapples more. We must own this defeat and move to the next tier. In this tier, I can see less vulnerable spots in your body. Intrigued, I immediately started this tier. In this tier, the duels last much longer as the armor It seems the more armor you gain in Half Sword, the more takedowns and grapples become essential.
Hedgeborn!
Now we finally move to the final tier, the one with a knightly logo. This is where it gets interesting. Finally wearing full suits of armor with no clear vulnerabilities. The duels become a clash of ironclads with only the sound of clashing iron audible. With a suit of armor, it takes forever to win or even lose.
No!
Turn we from this path. Idiot.
Now, let me show clips of me fighting in this final tier. So, this is where I bid my farewell as the narrator, but you may still continue watching the video if you wish to see more. So, as I like to say often, have a great day.
Squandrel! My God's bone! Swine! Squandrel! Ragamuffin! Hedgeborn!